we were going to make Bass Addict for the EDM Life Pack, and we did. But for some of them, there was like a miscommunication because we were out of B's. They just turned into Ass Addict, which went into the
that should be in the party pack. Before we get into the episode, if you guys can please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, that'd be a great way to support the podcast. Also, leave me a comment. Let me know which other guests you guys would like to see in the future, what you would like to see or talk about more. Also, if you guys aren't following me yet, give me a follow, Bassdropprincess and Best Kandi Ever on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all of that good stuff. Yo, what is up, Kandi fam? Welcome to this very special episode of Best Kandi Ever. Today, I am joined with some very, very special guests. These two people are very inspirational, and I say that because they are actually two young entrepreneurs with their own company. And what I really want you guys to see and find out about them, I think will be really, really special. And today, I have the two founders of Rave candy company, Kandi Bar. So please welcome to the podcast, Deanna and David.
Hello.
Hey.
What is up, guys? So we were actually talking before we started recording, and I was just mentioning how I actually met and started talking to Deanna and David through Instagram when I first started Kandi Bar. So ever since, or not Kandi Bar, Best Kandi Ever. So ever since I started Best Kandi Ever, we actually started talking and kind of collabed on some things. And it's just so nice to attach some faces to some names. I feel like you guys are like my long lost pen pals that I've been talking to for months.
Totally. Well, when you first started the podcast, we saw it and we were like, this is the most perfect thing ever because she wants to talk about the best candy ever. And that's basically what we're trying to do.
Yeah, it was funny when David was like, yo, I heard this podcast and I think this is like basically our new BFF. And he's like, you got to listen, go check it out. And I'm like, okay, I'll check it out.
That's what, one of the reasons why I've been wanted to start Best Kandi Ever was because I feel like in the rave community, candy is such a big thing, but I don't think it's talked about or touched upon as much. So when I heard that you guys were a candy company, I was like, this is kind of perfect. And I honestly think it's brilliant what you guys do. So for our listeners that don't really know who you are, can you guys give us a rundown on Kandi Bar?
Totally. So at Kandi Bar, our mission is to help music lovers of all backgrounds celebrate individuality, self-expression, and compassion. And the way we do that is we help them make magical moments of connection, which, if you haven't heard of candy before, is the way that we as ravers do that. And so Kandi Bar started as the first ready-to-rave candy company because before that, the only way to get candy was to make it yourself or trade it with someone. But some people, for all sorts of reasons, aren't able to make as many candies as they'd want to before a festival. Maybe they have a really tough job. Maybe they don't have the physical coordination to be able to do it right, but they still want to participate and they still want to be able to have special experiences with their friend. And that's where we come in. I mean, the idea started when, I had procrastinated preparing for a festival and it's like Tuesday night and I don't have any candy ready. And you're like, oh man, what am I going to do to get, because you can't show up without candy to give to everybody that you meet, right? And so that's where Kandi Bar comes in. And we have packs of ready-to-rave candy according to a few different themes that you're able to buy and then you're able to bring to the festival and trade with everybody. Yeah, right. We got them all on, right?
Yes.
That's a brief overview as to who we are.
Yeah. And, to be completely transparent, when I first heard about you guys, I was like, oh, but the fun is in creating the candy. But when I really, really thought about it, I was like, you know what? There are other ravers that aren't like me, that have kids, that have a busy life, that work 2 jobs, that are just struggling with time management and the stressors of even getting ready for a festival, because we all know that is so time consuming. So I was like, this is actually a great idea. And that's not the point of Kandi, is to make it yourself. It's really the mantra behind it, peace, love, unity, respect. So I think even like, yes, of course it is fun to create candy, but if you don't have the time to do that, that's okay. And I think that's why you guys are so great, because you offer that alternative.
We've worked really hard to make an experience that feels authentic to everyone. So I'll tell you a little bit about kind of the different packs you can get. So we want to make sure that every type of raver has a pack that they can identify with. So when they get those bracelets, they love them. So we have our EDM Life Pack, which is all about like music and DJs and festival culture. We have our Good Vibes Pack, which is all about friendship and being a little flirtatious and like celebrating being with people. And then we have our Party Hard Pack, which I think will speak for itself, but it's like all kind of weird stuff you might get going on at the festival. That's right. And then the other special thing is that no two packs are the same. So you can even get two of the same theme, and each pack is going to be different because we specially pick the candies that go into each pack so that it's an experience that comes to you. Because when you get candies at a festival, you can't pick your own. And that's the same way it works with us, is that it's a surprise what comes to you every time. And so that experience is meant to be authentic to our culture and authentic to Plur.
I love that. Okay, I didn't know that I knew that you guys had the separate categories, but I didn't know that like no two are the same. So I think that kind of makes it a little bit more real, and it's kind of a cool surprise, I think.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lot of fun to open them and see what's inside.
Oh my gosh. So how did you guys even come up with this idea?
Yeah, so I started the company back in 2019. And then
it's new. It's so new. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So we get to watch. And then Deanna joined the team in early 2020, right?
Mm-hmm. We just celebrated our 1 year.
Okay. Because as far as I know, you guys are together, right? I just wanted to be. No. Am I wrong? Am I wrong?
No.
Oh my God. See, this is what I'm talking about. I barely know what I've been talking about forever.
I'm married. My wife is downstairs.
She's also pregnant.
She is pregnant. We're expecting a baby in 9 weeks, which is super exciting. Deanna, maybe you should tell them a little about who you are.
Yeah,
yes,
well, it's funny you say that. David and I, we're good friends. We work together pretty closely, but I'm on the West Coast and he's over there on the East Coast. So we've actually never even met in person, really.
Can you believe that?
But we've been working together for over a year now. And I got started with the company because I was upset with my job and my 9-to-5 job. And I was like, I need another job. I want to do something fun, like ravey. And I was going to festivals and stuff. So I found Kandi Bar and I applied and I was like, hey, this could be perfect, if you will. And so here we are a year later. But yeah, I'm Deanna. My friends call me Debo. I guess I was qualified for the job because I was telling David in my cover letter, I go to all the festivals already. I'm into the scene. I'll stand in line for a beer for however long it takes, but I'll also squeeze my way to the front if I need to. And so he called and was like, all right, this sounds good. And, we talked some stuff out and here we are.
Yeah. So is your background in digital marketing, or do you have specialize in web design?
Well,
you guys want to work together?
So I currently do content marketing for my 9-to-5 job. So there's that. But on the side, when I was in college, I did college radio. And so I was going to a lot of festivals and concerts and shows and stuff already. And that was kind of getting me into the whole music scene. And so I was just going to concerts and festivals and raves and taking pictures and talking about it on my radio show. And then I graduated, so I kind of stopped doing that, but I still wanted to somehow be involved. So yeah, I do work my big girl job, and that's definitely content marketing. But I figure the skills can be applied to Kandi Bar once we get there and we're ready to go. It's a game plan.
Deanna originally joined to lead our in-person festival sales. and have a couple of different booths at a few different events in 2020, and we all know how that went.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it sucks.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's a cool idea.
Yeah, well, Deanna then led our social media. And so we invested a ton in building up our brand, connecting with our fans over the break, meeting content creators like you who are doing such a tremendous job of keeping our community together and energized, right? Because people are out there, they're feeling frustrated, and like between all the Insomniac live streams and everyone's doing when they're creating their TikToks and EDM Instagram, all that stuff has just been keeping everybody going. So we've kind of been investing in that over the last year.
Yeah, since festivals aren't really a thing anymore, but that gave us, ironically, enough time or a little bit more time to like plan. So when festivals do come back, we'll be there.
Yeah. So I'm guessing, Deanna, you definitely cover more of like the social media aspect of it and kind of networking. So David, can you tell us like a little bit about what you do, or if you guys kind of split it? Or
yeah, sure. So I'm the founder of the company, and that kind of means I have to do everything except that Deanna doesn't. I'm not able to have Deanna do. So everything from manufacturing to design, I have to manage building the website. We also sell on Amazon, and there's a lot of work associated with partnering with Amazon for that. Sometimes I do shipping, and I've got a bunch of inventory in my basement right now because, we got ready to go for EDC, and that didn't work out, unfortunately.
Right.
So, the whole process, and even now, a lot of what keeps me busy these days is doing R&D on some exciting new products that we can maybe announce later in the show.
Sorry, what does that mean, R&D? I don't think I've heard that term before.
Research and development, like building prototypes and technologies for new products that we're going to be launching.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't even know there was a term for that. Okay. That makes sense. Wow. So you guys have never met in person. You guys like met through like the internet pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Like this company?
Yeah.
Did David, were you at first doing this by yourself, or you were like, I need to have a partner. I need to start this off with somebody? Or can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. Yeah. So as an entrepreneur, like you have to be able to do what it takes to get through whatever situation it is. But at the same time, you have to understand where other people are better at things than you are. And so throughout this whole process, end to end, I've had the privilege of working with really brilliant, passionate, and talented people. And, we're not big enough that I can employ everybody full time yet, but we can still find a way to help, pay people to contribute whatever their special magic is to the project. And so like we've worked with a really talented designer out of San Diego. We've got a bag designer in Portland, and Deanna is just so much better at me than any of the social media stuff. And so she's been just so instrumental in being the voice of the brand and helping connect to everyone.
Oh, that is so awesome. So no, I totally get it. Managing social media, it's like its own thing. It's its own job for sure. So props to you, Deanna, for doing that. And then it sounds like you're doing like all the, like all the, I guess I don't want to say the businessy side of it, but because it's all business technically, but in terms of like inventory, merch, Amazon, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm, that's right.
So did you guys go to school for business? Or I know you said you like dabbled in that earlier, Deanna.
Well, I went to school for English, ironically. I got my degree in like technical writing. So the job that I ended up getting is just exactly that, like writing for websites. And there's a lot of things that come into that, like SEO and, keywords and whatnot. So that's kind of where I like come into the business aspect of things. But in terms of like numbers and strategy, that's like all David. I don't know if he went to school for that, but I'm sure he could tell you he's in that area.
I went to a liberal arts school, and I graduated in poli-sci and Chinese.
Oh, really?
Well, my parents were entrepreneurs, and so I learned from a young age how to run a business, and I've always been super interested in tech entrepreneurship and done a few different projects before this. And so this was really a combination of passion and opportunity where I saw a way to, give people something that they really wanted that wasn't available out there. And then I just started looking at problem solving and being like, what do we have to do to make that happen? And I think that's a really super exciting and intrinsically satisfying process. Like, I love watching our analytics and like seeing when the sales spike right before a specific festival. And then especially when I'm going to those festivals, like if you go to Forest and you're like, wow, there are like 200 people here who have candy that we made. Like it feels so rewarding and exciting to think about all the magical moments that they're having with those candies, all the smiles that were created. Like, this is going to sound a little corny, but like, I know we have tens of thousands of candies in my basement right now waiting for festivals to come back. And I think about if each of those candies is going to go to like 2 or 3 people over the course of its lifetime, then I think about maybe more. Right?
Yeah, I think way more.
Hundreds of thousands of peoples who these candy are going to touch in their lifetime. And it's probably the thing that I'm going to do in life that's going to touch the most people in a positive way. And like, that is really special.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Because in the end, you're not just reaching, I think you're reaching way more than 2 or 3, because I know that I've gotten some candies where I'm like, wow, this is like a decade old. It's been through some shit. So I like, for sure, I think that's so awesome. Oh my gosh. Is this your guys' like first time having a startup or working with a startup?
I've done a couple startup projects before, so I think it's familiar territory, but everything is different. Certainly the EDM community itself is really unique, and there's kind of a no BS filter. Like, you have to be a part of the community and understand all the unique aspects of it. I think, frankly, that's what we try to do differently than like maybe some of the like corporations that are thinking about selling things to ravers, is that we understand the unique circumstances that like festival lifestyle brings, and then we want to find ways to fit that and be authentic to the culture.
That is so awesome. I really like your guys' whole mission behind it too. What do you think will be the future of Kandi Bar? I know it's kind of hard to say right now with COVID. None of us saw this coming, but obviously you guys are doing something right, because you guys are like a small business, but you're still here.
Yeah, I mean, we've been privileged enough to be able to, take a pause for the most part during COVID and kind of regroup. But I think there are a lot of people in the community who support festivals that definitely need our support right now. And so I think it's important for everybody who's a part of the community to find those that are out of work because they, work in production or staging or other small businesses to support. I think we've been lucky enough to be able to get through this. But what's next for Kandi Bar is super exciting. So I think there's 2 ways to think about it. Our first product line, the candy packs, I think that over this long time, we've had a chance to really improve the experience and make the bracelets better than ever before with, exciting things like glow-in-the-dark beads and new phrases and sparkles and really fun stuff there. So the first job after festivals come back is just get ourselves up to speed. Start getting bracelets to everybody for every event, both on our website, which we just launched, on Amazon, if that's where they prefer to shop, and then also bringing booths to festivals where people can get them on the spot if they run out. That's kind of the first mission. And the second is a really exciting thing that we're announcing for the first time here on your show, Renee, is that we're going to be launching some EDM LED glow capes. And so I don't know if this doesn't
glow
exist.
Glow capes? Did you say glow capes?
Glow capes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what this will look like, because I'm picturing it, but I'm like, I don't think I really know exactly what it is.
So think about if Poi was like candy, where it had a bunch of different LEDs that could turn all sorts of colors and multiple different patterns. And then imagine you could have wings that could extend from your back that had those LED lights in them. Now, you may have seen something kind of like this, but this has been built from the ground up for the EDM community and the festival lifestyle. And the best part is it all folds up into a little carrying pack that you can keep either on your thigh or on your back, or like a kind of a fanny pack when you're not using it. So when you want to bring it into the festival, you keep it there. And then when you get, and it's nighttime and you're ready to go, especially you and your friends, like me and my friends did this at a couple of festivals last year, and you all turn on the lights. It's like you're superheroes in the crowd. and you never get lost.
I was about to say, this is going to be like an outfit game changer, because I realized that lights will like level up your outfit usually 100% of the time.
We had a designer take a look at the really popular outfit styles from this year, and then she matched the color patterns that we're going to have in the capes to complement the types of outfits that people wear. So it's kind of like a Devil Wears Prada kind of thing, where like you have to have the right blue or the right red. And so we're happy to do it. We'll definitely send you one when they come off the line.
Oh my God, I would absolutely love that. Thank you. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Can you like tell us like when to expect this, or is this like something that like will be a surprise drop?
I think it'll be later this year. There's still some stuff to work out. Obviously, it's really complicated with COVID to produce anything these days. And this involves a lot of electronics and technology. We don't want to give it to people until we're really 100% sure it's perfect and ready to go. But look for us to be trialing it with some of our friends like you later this year, and to get feedback and to make sure that it really lives up to the trials that we're going to all put it through.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for this. Is there going to be like a special name, or is that like still in the works too?
That's still in the works.
Okay.
We've been going back and forth on a name for this thing. I can't even tell you, for months. Like none of us, like the whole team is just not happy with any particular name. So like we're still going off each other's like previous ideas and coming up with new stuff. But that's been one of the struggles we've had, is the name, because it has to be a great name. You can't just...
You want it to be catchy. No, I get it.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely all be on the lookout for that. So I know that you guys mentioned that you'd like to like have a booth for certain festivals. Are there any like ideal ones that you guys want to be in? Besides, I know all of them, but if you guys like had to choose 3 or 5.
I think that our number one like goal for a festival to be would be obviously EDC, just because that's like the
Las
biggest.
Vegas?
Yeah, it's like the biggest, raviest, just like craziest festival you could. I've never been, but I can only imagine, and I have friends that have been, and it would be wild. But I think that would be our top goal to try to get into. And then I think for other like second and third place goals would probably be like Electric Forest, Lost Lands, maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, ultimately all of them, if possible.
Yeah. What are your favorite festivals to go to?
My favorite festivals to go to, well, I have a couple. I wore my Buku hat because that's my favorite festival ever.
I've never been.
Oh my gosh, it's so great. It happens in March, and I was supposed to go last year, and literally the week of my flight was when COVID like happened, and it was. I was like, David remembers, I was like, I'm still going to go. I'm going to just have a trip, because like the festival had been canceled. So I was like, I'm going to still have a nice relaxing trip in the South and enjoy like New Orleans.
Is it in Florida?
It's in
Louisiana?
New Orleans, yeah, Louisiana. And so, so I was like, yeah, I'm still going to do that. And no, that couldn't happen. So I'm bummed this year I didn't get to go, but that's like my favorite festival. And then my other favorite festivals are more like local, but probably would have to be Dirty Bird Campout and Northern Nights, maybe Lib. I have a bunch. I was going to a lot before COVID, so yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned Dirty Bird. Do you listen to more like techno
house.
And house, or okay?
Yeah, that's probably like I switch back and forth all the time, just depending on my mood. But house is always a good mood. So,
who are your favorites?
Honestly, like the whole Dirty Bird record label is probably my favorite. I also like Desert Hearts. And yeah, just like that kind of vibe. I really like this artist called Sorley. I don't know if you've heard, but he's pretty cool.
No, I'll have to look him up. I listen to more dubstep, so I'm like, who's that?
Yeah, I know. I figured,
open.
But you know, it's wherever there's EDM, there's definitely house. So you know, there's always options.
Yeah. David, what about you? Where, like which festivals do you like going to?
Yeah, I mean, I got into raving because my brother brought me to Paradiso in Washington State a couple times, which was amazing. The gorge is amazing. If you haven't been, you got to go. And then near home, I have this rave squad. We've been going to events now for a while. So we went to Firefly a couple times. We went to Electric Forest a couple times. We went to Izu a couple times. So I think we have kind of that like East Coast. And I'm super excited. It seems like Insomniac is going to be a little bit more present in the Mid-Atlantic coming up. So I can't wait to see what they do.
Yeah, that is going to be freaking awesome. I think they actually teamed up with Forbidden Kingdom as well, that dubstep festival in Florida. So, and I think rightfully so, because they're like the only ones that are open besides there's a whole bunch of them that are actually open. But hopefully festival season will come back, if not everywhere, at least in some states.
When it's safe.
Yeah, when it's safe. So, like, do you guys, because you guys are both like young entrepreneurs, Deanna, I know you mentioned you have like a 9-to-5. Do you also have like another job, David, or is this like your baby, your main thing?
You know, I do have another job for now. I work at a major tech company, but I started this in 2019, sort of near the end of the year. And so we've only had a couple months of really being up and running before COVID hit. And so it's really exciting to see what we can do after.
Yeah. What advice do you guys have for young entrepreneurs whose dream is to have a startup, to have their own company?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great question. I think the first thing you have to be fixated in is you have to know your customer. You have to understand what it is that they want. And then you have to find a place in the market where they're not getting what they want and where your unique skills and your passion can do that better than anybody else. And then when you get going, you got to make mistakes, you got to learn, and you can't have anything that you hold that you're not willing to revise when you get more information and learn more and as you figure it out. And so it's I think a great way to say it is you figure something out with experimentation, and then you scale it with iteration. So you try a bunch of things until you get it right, and then when you get it right, you bring it to more people.
Kind of like trial and error, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to try to use as much as possible so you don't have to try everything and make every mistake. So you want to like look at data, talk to customers, maybe do a survey. There's a lot of tools out there that will let you see like what other products people are buying, as an example, in the Amazon space. And there's a bunch of great podcasts out there that will help you if you're trying to get into, say, selling on Amazon. It's a lot easier than I think people think to have products on Amazon. Most of the products you buy on Amazon are from a small business or a third party that's not actually Amazon that you don't even know about, which is always kind of surprising. And so if there's something that you really understand your customer and you always stay true to what that customer believes and what that customer needs, you'll be able to figure it out, and that'll get through anything else.
Yeah, that's what really stood out to me when we first started talking, when you guys mentioned that you were on Amazon. I was like, whoa, like that's pretty legit, because I've met, I've heard of, or I've collabed with other rave brands, but only one other one has been on Amazon. So when you guys said that, not that like if you're not on Amazon, that doesn't mean you're legit, but I feel like that kind of validated it a little bit, because I was like, oh, okay, like this is serious. Like they see themselves going forward with this because they're on one of the biggest retail markets online.
That's exactly right, Renee. It ties into what I just said about thinking about your customer and what they need. So if our customer it's Tuesday night and they're leaving for the festival Friday afternoon, are they going to stay up all night Wednesday night or Thursday night making candy and like not be able to work their job the next day? Well, with Amazon's Prime shipping, it can get it there in 2 days, or you can pay a little bit more for 1 day. And I think people on like Shopify or on like a regular brand website are a lot less likely to be willing to pay for 2-day shipping right away. And so for the situation that we were in, Amazon was the best way for us to be able to get to our customers in a way that they could afford. And so it was a natural choice.
Wow. So do you guys want to stick solely to like Amazon, or would you guys want to be in other I don't know, like, for example, if you wanted to be on iHeartRaves or any other big rave company, like, is that something you guys are interested in?
Well, right now we're in 2 places. So we're on Amazon. If you search for Kandi Bar or search for Rave Candy, you'll find us. And then you can also go to www.kandi.bar, which is our own website. And I think it was fun that we were able to get that URL. And then would we want to be in another brand? I mean, I think it would depend on what they were doing, but I think we have no objection to it. I mean, if any of them are listening, you should give us a call.
Yes, I think for sure, like, sharing is caring. And I think that just working with everyone usually in the long run kind of benefits you
Totally.
like as a business. Would you guys say that you're a small business? Because I know you guys have other other people on the team, but I feel like you guys are a small business.
We're definitely a small business.
Yeah. That's, oh man. Do you, with with other businesses like kind of going under, which is super sad and super horrifying, do you guys were you guys ever like, maybe this isn't going to work out, or we don't know when festivals are going to come back? Were there any moments where you guys were like, we don't even know if we should continue doing this?
I mean, I think that's a natural thought for everyone at this time who's trying to do anything. But I think the thing that comes to mind is when COVID just started. The moment for me that I was like, maybe this isn't going to work out was when we had just got all the candy for the year, for the summer, and then COVID happened, and we were like, oh crap. Maybe this isn't going to work out, and so that for me, I was like, okay, well, I know, it's no one's fault, but we just got to keep going. And then, talking to David, he's like, well, what else are we going to, use this time for? Let's not think like that. We're going to be still pushing forward, just maybe in a different way. So that's when we started social media. That's when we kind of went that direction with, hey, let's build up a brand presence on Instagram, maybe collab with some other different people, see their thoughts on our product, see how we can kind of build in that direction. And that's what we did. But I think that there was a short time there where it was a small scare,
Oh, for everybody. And that's why I think that it's so awesome that you guys are still here, are fortunate enough to still be here, keep doing what you're doing, because there are so many brands that wish they could, save their small business, their mom and pop shop. And it's just so sad. That's why it warms my heart to see that you guys are still kicking and screaming, still going through this whole thing.
I think David would agree. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and money, probably.
A lot of copy editing, late nights. I mean, look, my job is to keep us focused on the mission. And so when it turned out that we weren't going to be able to be selling in person for a while or even online, what I had to do was think about what's the next best way we can accomplish that mission. And so what it ended up being was doing things that we wouldn't have had time for in a busy festival season, building that website, like she said, working on all this hard work and design and building these new products. The capes have a backpack component, and there's so much intricate design into that. We've done multiple prototype rounds. There's so many things about it that have taken a ton of work. And, if this hadn't happened, we wouldn't have had the time to be able to focus on that. And so it's definitely not what we would have wanted for ourselves, and it's definitely not what we would want of a community. And you're right, it is extremely sad. My parents' small business has been struggling. I know a lot of people whose small business has been struggling. I think that we were at that stage where we could still kind of pause things, and we didn't have to do layoffs, and then we'll be able to come back in and stronger. And we want to be part of that celebration when our community is able to come back again. We want to be ready from day one to say, you want to come back to festivals? Great, we're here with you, and we want to help make it as special as possible.
100%. I absolutely love that. I think that your guys' drive and passion is what keeps you guys going, is still why you're still here. You mentioned that your parents have a business too. Is this kind of where you get this from?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, I think you learn from your past. And I think that I was definitely taught from an early age how to run a business, and it has its ups and downs, I'll tell you. I mean, how do you think about this podcast? Is that something that like you also had some training for? Is this going to become a business, or is this still kind of like a hobby for you?
Right now, I feel like it's both a hobby, but also, I don't even like to say hobby, because for me, it's like a place to kind of cope and relax and just focus on me, get to basically decompress. And that's kind of what Best Candy Ever, that's why it started, was because I just needed an escape. A lot of you guys know that I am an essential worker and I'm still working. And so it was super stressful coming home from work, and I'm a healthcare worker, so work has been stressful as fuck. So I was like, I just need to get away, and I just want people to be able to tune out of the world. And I think that's why a lot of people kind of relate. And of course, what we both have in common is that we see the joy of candy and why it's so fun to have, and just the whole meaning of it. So, but in terms of business, I mean, we'll see what happens. No one's going to say no to, hey, you have this awesome passion. Would you want it to be a business? I think the majority of people would say yes, but I don't want to put that pressure, because right now I'm just creating this for fun and because I love it. So
that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for all the work you're doing to keep everybody safe out there. That's like first and foremost. I think I saw that on one of your stories, and I was like, are you working like in healthcare? And like, it's just so important. And I wish people didn't take for granted as much what our healthcare workers are doing this year.
Thank you. That really means a lot from the bottom of my heart. I really appreciate that. Because this year has just been wild. And so like both of you, I have like my day job, or my job currently, whatever you want to call it. How do you guys manage your time? Because I found it super difficult and challenging to learn about podcasting, learn about editing, recording, things like that, and still have to work full time. And I can't work. I'm a nurse, so I can't work from home, work remote. So it's been super hard. Have you guys had to face the same challenges with Kandi Bar and your other job?
Totally. And we also have to deal with a time difference. So I'm 3 hours ahead of Deanna. So like we're talking at like 11 o'clock my time, like, after people went to bed over here. But it's hard. I mean, there's no way of saying it's not hard, but at the same time, if it's something you're passionate about, it's something you love, I'm sure you understand it doesn't feel like work as much. It feels rewarding and it feels fun. And I think that you have to, again, stay grounded in the mission. Why are you doing what you're doing? What impact is it going to have on other people in the world? And especially when you look around you and you see the world melting down right now, when you see like the structural inequality that you have in our country and racial injustice, when you see the kind of political strife and all the ways that people get out there and they try to send messages to people to make people, to inspire their darker natures. I live in DC, like there was National Guard on our street the other day, when those supporters like had the insurrection at the Capitol, right? And so
that must have been terrifying.
It really was. Yeah. But those people were motivated by people who were sending out messages of hatred and messages of fear through television and through tweets and through Parler and everything like that. And there's so much of that out there. And then, so I think you got to stay grounded in what are we doing to combat that. And I think that there's important work to be done in the fight directly. But I also think about if we're doing the opposite, we're sending out positivity, we're sending out love, we're sending out compassion, and we're sending out messages that are like physical embodiments of connection with other people. And so I do think it's a valuable contribution, just like I think you use your platform for good. Like I remember, I really loved the episode when you had Alex, the Candy Diva, on there, and she like raised.
Oh, I love her.
She's incredible. And I think that like it shouldn't have to just be her who's making the statements, but at the same time, by giving her a platform, I think that she's really doing a lot to help the EDM community kind of become more aware of the issues of inequality and kind of racial tensions that we have. And so I'm just so glad that you did that to bring the platform to her. Yeah,
and it's definitely important, and I'm glad that it is that light is being shed in that particular injustice, because we all know it's been happening for a while. And I think that sometimes people don't want to be aware of things like that because they may feel that this is their fault. Oh, it's because I'm part of this group, so it makes me bad. But it's not that at all. I think it's just really pointing out this isn't right and this needs to stop.
I mean, I think you can look at, like, Deanna can talk a little bit about, like, we had our first photo shoot over a year ago. And, you know, we've always had from the beginning that it's critical that we have a diversity of body types and skin tones and backgrounds in our photo shoots. And that's not like a trick to make more money. That's just because it's the right thing to do, and it depicts people as they really are and how beautiful they are. I don't know, Deanna, maybe you want to talk more about that.
Yeah, ironically, it was funny because David was like, find a group of friends and, you know, we're going to have a photo. Let's have this photo shoot and, like, just let's do it. And so I was like, okay. And ironically, like, all the friends that I invited were literally just a wonderful mixture of like short and tall and dark and light and skinny and thick. And, like, you know, like, I didn't even have to try to do that. Like, it just happened, like, naturally. And it was so awesome because after, like, I think I was looking at one of the photos after they were edited and sent back. I'm like, wow, like, okay, because they're all my friends, you know, but I was like, what a, like, wholesome, beautiful group of people, like, we have, like, and I, like, really got kind of emotional thinking about, like, this is like really just real life. Like, this is really what it is. Like, you're not going to go and see, like, all the same kind of person. I mean, you might, but the point of it is to be more inclusive and kind of more welcoming to, like, the whole instead of just individual, you know, sizes or skin colors or ethnicities or whatever. So yeah, but we did a really good job making a point of that. And I'm just blessed and kind of, like, excited that it happened without any effort. So that was really fun. I think it was just about a year ago. I think that photo shoot was. It was going to show up in my memories soon, so I'll let you know.
That is so great, and I think that's so cool that you didn't even, like, really have to try, because that's just how your friend group was. And, like, in reality, I think the majority of Rave fams, Rave, like, you know, like, squads, whatever. I think the majority of them look pretty diverse. I mean, I know you'll see, like, that random Asian rave train, like, go through the festival, whatever. And I'm sure that, you know, there are some groups that aren't, like, diverse, and that's okay too. But I think that that's really cool and awesome that you guys are, that you just have, like, this race rainbow of models for you guys to, like, photo shoot and stuff.
Yeah, we even had some, like, guys there, and, like, they were too pretty, like, whatever, like, different in all their ways, but it was a fun time. I should like reach out and say, do you remember this?
I mean, we try to be mindful in all of the things we do, and I think there's always more we could do.
Always more.
I think, like, we also in a lot of our bracelet packs have, like, some you know, equality and, like, love is love are some of my favorite bracelets, you know, so we can represent the queer community, because, like, in so many ways, like, the EDM scene, it has, like, Black and queer people to thank for the content that we're all enjoying and the origination of the color and the styles of dress. And so you can't just, like, take the culture and forget the people that created it. And I think you have to include everyone, and then you have to also make sure that everyone understands, like, where it came from and why we're able to enjoy it today.
Yeah, that's so freaking true. And I say that because I watched that documentary on Netflix, The Evolution of Hip Hop, and I didn't know that basically in order to make beats, you have to sample. And a lot of sampling is pretty much how EDM, like, that's what EDM is. It's sampling. So without hip hop, EDM wouldn't have ever even came to exist, because with beats, different sounds, that wouldn't have been possible without hip hop. So I totally agree with that. But you mentioned for sure, like, there's all these different candies, and I kind of wanted to get into that because I am wearing some of them. So I really
candies are kind of like a physical form of sampling. So a lot of the words come from lyrics.
I like that.
Right? And so you're wearing samples from songs at sometimes. Anyway, so keep going. You're going to say something.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that makes sense because there is this. Well, okay, let me just show you some of my favorites. I'm like wearing all of my favorite ones. So this one says Rail Rider, and I absolutely love that one as a headbanger. Also, Light Show. I saw that and I was like, oh my God, this is perfect for like anyone that does any flow art or is it Glover or like just received a light show and was like, I want to give this one to you.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. And I feel like they're just super unique, and I'm not going to lie, I'm pretty good at creating some candies myself. But when I got some of these, I was like, oh, that's super creative and unique. For example, this one says Face Melter. I was like, oh my God, that's just hilarious and super cute. And this one here too, it says Nasty Beats. But yeah, I love these. Can you like kind of go over the creative process with how you even come up with your candies, like your candy ideas?
Totally. So it sounds like you got the EDM life pack, because the Rail Rider and the Face Melter, those are really all about that like hardcore, like at the front of the crowd, ready to hear the set vibe. And there are so many different vibes that people experience at a festival. Deanna and I, this is our favorite part of working on Kandi Bar, is coming up with the candies themselves, because we have to think about all of the people and all of the experiences that they're having at a festival and thinking about how we can have the right candy for them. And so I love the title of your podcast, Best Candy Ever, but I don't think that we can think of like a single best candy ever. There's a best candy for every moment. And so like you gave the example of light show being the perfect one to give somebody after they give you a light show. One of our top design principles is every candy is a moment. So think about a word or a phrase that will fit a specific moment. So I have a bracelet on that says, I found you, which is conveniently a Calvin Harris lyric. But also, if you meet somebody at a festival, which is one of the best things when you meet some random person at a festival, and then you find them again later, like they might as well have gone to the moon and back. You don't know where they've been, right? But when you find that person again, it's such a special feeling. And so if you can give them a candy that says, I found you, that's going to feel like the best candy ever. And so many of our different bracelets represent a specific type of moment you might have at a festival.
I didn't realize that. I don't think I even knew that, that was from a song lyric, but B, that there's one for every moment. I mean, of course there's one for every moment, but it's so specific and pinpoint. I think that's why I'm even more appreciative of that, because I don't know how many times I will meet somebody at a festival and vibe with them so hard, and then later on find them, and then it's like, hey, how are you? Like, we just saw each other. And because it feels like you're never going to run into them in that gargantuan sea of people.
It's also funny, you can some of them are identities or something that would describe someone. So like Rail Rider, like if you meet somebody at the rail, you can give that to them to symbolize the fact that you guys were there together. And then you go, oh, remember I was at the rail for that, incredible excision set. And so think about ones that describe people. And then a lot of them just describe things or places you might see at a festival. So you might say, you go up to somebody, hey, you want some shots? And they say, sure. And then you plur them and then you give them a bracelet that says shots. And it's kind of a little bit of a joke. And Deanna, what are some of your favorite candies?
So the one I'm wearing now, that's one of my favorites. It's I love house.
Of course,
because I love house, right? But there's a time I didn't have this bracelet with me, and it was actually the first time I've ever had the plur experience. But it was at Audiotistic one year, and I was having the time of my life, but some random person just next to me during the final set, I think it was Claude Von Stroke. But anyways, he's just I love house, just so loud, and he was standing right next to me. But it was even though I didn't give him this bracelet, I think it was for him, in another
embodying him.
Yes, in another world, he we plurred and everything. But yeah, that's got to be my favorite one. And then I also have one that says Wookery. It's ironically,
what is it? Wookery?
Wookery, yeah, it's it's funny when we were talking about the creation process. So David had, come up with a list of his like thoughts for words and phrases, and then asked me for my input. And it's wild because we have like such different experiences and thoughts and past rave moments that we came up with entirely different like lists, So this is ironically a word that I like suggested, but Wookery, it's like, I used to think it was like an inside joke, but it's like not. I don't know if you follow Wooks Doing Things on Instagram, but it's just like,
I've heard of it. I need to follow them now.
So it's like funny, like there's just like Wook people. Like Wooks are just like the odd, weird people who are just so nice and just like roll into your camp. And
I was gonna say, I love them. Those are like people. I mean, I don't consider myself a Wook, but I definitely have Wook tendencies.
Yes, girl, same. But like Wookery just in itself, because like I catch myself doing some stuff sometimes and I'm like, wow, I'm a Wook. Like this is it's, I don't know, but so it's cool because there's a lot of times where like, those are the memories that I kind of keep close. There's like, it's 3 a.m. I'm at my campsite. I'm just changing clothes to go back out to like the next set. And there's this Wook in our campsite, and kind of just, I remember those moments and I kind of wish I could share them with the person I'm referring to,
Can you give us an example of Wookery?
Sure. So my like festival squad or like whatever, my friends, my camp friends, we usually have renegades. And so like I have a lot of DJ friends, and they like, our campsite is usually just like an after party. So it tends to like draw a lot of attention and people like, stroll in, and everyone's welcome. It's fine. But there was one night at camp out, I think last year, this guy fell asleep in our camp, and it sounded like he was crying, and he was just moaning and groaning, like, and it was right outside my tent. So I'm like, who the heck is like out there? And so I didn't get up, but like one of our friends, our rave mom, she got up and she checked on him, and she's like, dude, are you okay? Like, what's up? And he's like, I'm just cold.
Aww.
I know. And so like we called him the, like, I don't remember what, like the Wook from Antarctica or something, but we like not like made fun of him, but we like gave him a nickname, and he came back every night since. But like, I don't know, that's one example of a Wook that I can remember very clearly. But he was just crying all like it's like 4 a.m, bro, like go away.
Some Wookery right there. I think maybe a bad trip or something. I don't know.
Maybe. Well, the fact that he like fell asleep in our camp, like, if you need a place to stay, he was in like one of those beanbag, air chairs. So it was like probably very comfortable. But I'm like, damn, bro, we could have just threw you a blanket just to say something.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Have you, okay, David, I think you said you've been to Electric Forest. Have you been to Electric Forest?
I've never been.
Oh, it is like one of the Wookiest festivals ever.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and I think like one of the biggest examples of Wookery is when I see like some random dude with a pashmina on, like the unshowered hair. Yeah, and then bare feet. When I see the bare feet, I'm like, that's some Wookery.
Yes. Key item, bare feet, for sure.
Oh my gosh, you should make some Wook candies.
Well, we have the one, but maybe more in the future.
Yeah, I mean, another great category of candies are mistakes that turned out better than we ever would have hoped. So there's one like legendary mistake where we were gonna make Bass Addict for the EDM Life Pack, and we did. But for some of them, there was like a miscommunication because we were out of bees. They just turned into Ass Addict, which went into the
that should be in the party pack. Yeah,
it was in the party pack, right?
Oh, okay.
So, fun tip: if you get the party pack and the EDM pack, you might find 2 candies that are similar, but for a bee with very different meanings.
Yeah, 2 completely very different meanings. That's kind of hilarious. Ass Addict. How did you like? Oh my gosh! For the 3 packs, there's a party pack, EDM pack, and then
Good vibes.
The good vibes. Do you guys see yourselves coming out with like other packs or even like parlors or cuffs?
Yeah, I mean, I think we got to get back to festivals first and kind of get the basic stuff successful first. I think we would definitely be open to new packs in the future. I think it's also fun that we get to create new words for every pack all the time. And so, what the evolution of each of these packs can change. And so we're not limited to just like what that means today, because look, the memes are going to change. The language is going to change. Like we had Baby Yoda in one of our packs, which was really fun.
Cute.
So there's things are changing all the time. But definitely if there's like a new specific type of raver that as we, get in touch with people and we get feedback, and people should please feel free to give us feedback whenever they want. We love hearing suggestions. We often run contests on our Instagram page for suggestions about what candy words should be in the next pack. We also, so anybody who has any feedback should totally let us know, but we're open to it for sure.
Yeah, well, I'm definitely excited to see what you guys have in store. I think that you guys are definitely a company that is here to stay, and we'll be back once festival season starts.
Well, thank you so much. We're trying. I mean, I think we're really excited to get back in touch with our friends. I haven't made up my Rave squad in a while. And then I think we also want to help support the broader community and come up with these candy ideas. So, Renee, if you ever have any candy ideas, you just got to DM us and we'll put them in the next pack for sure.
I definitely will. For like everyone that's listening, would you say that the best way for them to contact you is through Instagram, or I don't know if you guys are on Twitter or TikTok?
Yeah, so right now our main presence is on Instagram. So you can find us at Kandi Bar, spelled like KandiBar. And then you can find our website at www.kandi.bar. And so those are two great ways to find us. Just DM us and we'd love to hear from you. And then, if you're, panicking for the festival because you procrastinated for a year and you see us on Amazon, like you can go ahead and buy us with Prime shipping if you want there too.
Yes. So last minute, like spontaneous festival goers, if you guys need some candy and are like me, either just don't have time or it like you just suddenly decided to go or got a free ticket or whatever, definitely shop Kandi Bar. Like David said, Amazon and at Kandi.bar.
Yeah, and we've seen a bunch of people actually sending plur packs to each other as a way of staying in touch during quarantine. So that's another special way is you can go ahead and buy a pack and send it to your friend. And when it arrives, they'll feel really special. And,
that's such a good idea.
We'll get back together again. Plur packs is also just a cute, really part of our culture.
Oh, I love that. I didn't even think of gifting that. That is super cute. Oh my gosh. I think that like lazy candy kids will rejoice hearing that news.
Yeah, and we're actually going to put a special on our website. We're going to use discount code BestCandyEver to get a discount.
Oh my God!
To check out. So if everybody wants to go ahead and on the Kandi.bar website, go ahead and use discount code BestCandyEver.
Heck yes, I absolutely love that. Oh my gosh! So is there anything that you guys want to end the podcast with? You just dropped your plugs, but are there like any messages or anything else that you guys like to say about Kandi Bar or yourselves or advice? Feel free to do so now.
Well, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has supported us and welcomed us into the community. There have been so many content creators out there who have been really friendly with us. There's this whole girl gang of other festival brands who make all the lashes and pasties and glitter and clothes that y'all like. And they've been super welcoming. We love Emma Capotes' podcast as well. And like folks like Molly EDM and Scarlett Vesper, they've all been really friendly to us. And so we just want to thank everybody for welcoming us, and we can't wait to see you back out there when festivals come back. I mean, stay strong, look out for each other, do the right thing. Deanna, you have any closing words?
I second that, and thanks for everyone listening, tuning in right now. And hopefully we'll see you at a rave soon. I'm looking forward to it.
Stay safe, everybody. Masks, social distancing until we can get back from this thing.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you guys so much for being on here, and it's so good to finally meet you guys.
Yeah, you too.
But we got to do a plur at the end. We for sure got to do it.
Oh, 2 hands? Okay, wait.
Here we go.
Ready?
Love.
Peace, love.
Unity.
Unity.
Respect.
And respect.
Woo!
Hell yes. It feels so good to like virtually plur. It's weird, but I love it.
We got to do. All right. Thanks so much, Renee.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Kandi fam, that was such an inspirational episode. I feel like if you just keep on pushing, especially with the stuff that's going on right now, that eventually you can succeed and persevere. So that was just so awesome that Kandi Bar, Deanna and David were on. I thank them again for being on Best Kandi Ever. That was so amazing. Also, I wanted to clarify that my affiliate code is Best Kandi Ever for Kandi Bar. So if you guys want to send like a ready-made plur package, you can just order from Kandi Bar's website, use code Best Kandi Ever, not Bassdropprincess, Best Kandi Ever, and use that to save and send like someone that you love some cool candies and really brighten their day. So thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of Best Kandi Ever. And also, if you guys want some super cool, lean, mean machine dubstep, check out Skudda, aka Skudda Music, on SoundCloud and Instagram. Otherwise, love you guys all. Thanks for all the support, and I'll see you guys next time, Kandi Crew.